To do a bit of a video about MDM, Apple's device management, and why I'm finally moving away from Profile Manager. If you're not aware, Profile Manager, which is what I'm in now, is Apple's original case for an MDM before they had like Apple Business Manager and School Manager. So I'm looking at a device here where you can see like all the details about the device, all that sort of stuff, literally all of it. If you're not familiar with what an MDM is, maybe it stands for Mobile Device Manager. Basically allows you to manage like phones and stuff like that. It uses, for Apple's case, I can only really talk to Apple's case, it uses like in-house stuff, not in-house stuff, it uses a process that runs on the device in the background that you don't see. But let me just go through this and I'll explain all the other details and stuff. This is Apple's Profile Manager. It used to come with macOS Server. It allows you to create all these configuration options down here for devices. The thing is, a lot of this is sunset. Like, a lot of this is really old. And because they've updated the profiles and protocols and stuff like that, a lot of this you actually, just can't use these days. I don't really use much of it anyway. I'll explain what I use it for and why I'm switching. It has like this user thing, and you can go to my devices and it give you a list of your devices and stuff, which I think is really cool. It's like they've designed it to be a well-built system. It's just at its end of life. Like, it's not maintained anymore. Hasn't been maintained for a good 3 or 4 years, and you can't upgrade it easily. Like, I can't write any code on this that will just make it support the new versions. So you can do like device groups. You get all the user groups. So I've just leaked everybody's email addresses, but anyway. And then I've got apps. These are the apps. So these are my apps. These are all custom apps. You can do a get more apps and use the volume purchase agreement, which is the predecessors to Apple Business Management, for allowing you to purchase apps as a business. That doesn't work anymore. It doesn't work in the story. I've never personally used it, but it doesn't work anymore because they no longer support the ability to communicate in that protocol. But my issue is with apps, and especially with apps that contain embedded apps, e.g. a watch app, a web clip, an app clip, some extension types, not necessarily all the extension types. What else? I think that's mainly it. But it has an issue with them. It gets confused. It thinks it's an iOS app, but then it gets the bundle identifier of the embedded app within the original app. So when you go to push it to the phone freaks out. It's like, this isn't the right app, this isn't the right bundle, this isn't that, and this isn't that. So, simply put, it needed to change. And that's been annoying me a bit because I've been trying to push out apps. Like, as you can see here, I make a fair few apps. Like, I keep saying like, so my apologies. This TDS MB, which stands for TDS Mercedes-Benz, which is my car controlling app that uses the Mercedes-Benz API. It has a watch app, so I can control the car from my watch. I can't now push it out on this, so I have to push it out manually. That's why this still says it's on version 1. That's that. I never use the books feature. Never have used the books feature. Probably will never ever use the books feature. It has this nice like command list queue of what's going on. MDM is really complicated in how it works. I don't think I've got open. No, I haven't got open. If I had open, I can show you here. No, I can't. But yeah, it's really complicated in how it works. It requires a lot of information. So essentially, no, sorry, what was I saying? It's really complicated in how it works. Oh, there's Siri going off. You send a request to Apple's APNs with a topic. They then send that request through the system to the device. The device then sends that request No, the device then uses that notification to make a request to your MDM directly, to the MDM server, and sends an idle message, to which the MDM server replies back and says, this is what I want you to do. The device then does it, then replies back and says it's done it. You can then reply as the MDM server and say you got a new request, or you can just send a blank response and the process shuts down. It works. It's really buggy. It's not necessarily buggy, it's just... excuse me. It's not really the way you'd expect it to work. But, yeah. So this is all of that. You can just create all these groups. But I'm sunsetting this now. As you can see, there are a lot of devices. And these are the devices that haven't been moved. We'll flip over now to the new MDM. So this is my new MDM. It's not finished. This is a work in progress. This is a product in development. Yeah, I can click here and I can get the download file or the copy of the link. Don't do that. You'll get enrolled in the MDM. That won't go well. Apps. It gives me a list of apps. There should be icons. I'm having issues with the icons. I don't know why. But these are all the apps I make and manage via MDM. And you can click on the little push, get the list of devices, select all of them, etc. Push it out. Profiles. I can configure and create profiles. I'm working out how to do this. Can I show you this trust profile? Yeah, I'm going to click on this. This is actually blank, I think. Yeah. This creates a trust profile for... This is going to create a trust profile. So you can put like a certificate in here and all that information, etc. You get the idea. I'm not going to show you this config test because that's got content in it. But that's this. This is my front end application. You can view a device, view their settings here. There's not really anything in here that you can do anything with. Tells you all the information you need to know. Installed apps. I can go down here and I can send like a request to a command, so I can do all these commands. So AirPlay to device is a bit of work. It needs me to implement a method to pick another device, like an Apple TV. That's not quite gone very well. But if I go like installed device list, it will update this list of devices that are installed on my thing. Here's the managed apps. This is the list of apps we've managed on that device. And this is the list of profiles it's got installed. I can also change user. That gives me a user pop-up for all the TDS users in the system. Etc. You get the idea. This is very much a work in progress. I've got an event queue. I've copied the icons. As you can see, there's a few events that fails while I've been testing stuff. It's complicated to build. Like, let's go to the Apple docs. Apple developer device management documentation. Whatever it is here. These are the docs. They're not. It's not straightforward. Obviously, where you're actually going. You're actually going into like deployment services, device assignment, and then this gives you. No, you're not going in here. Oh, maybe you are going there. My apologies. Define a profile. I don't remember where I'm going in this. But essentially you create profiles that you send to the client, and that is essentially what it uses. They're now coming out with declarative device management, which is like a two-way device management communication thing. So when a change happens on the phone sends the request to the server. When the server wants to change something on the phone sends a request via APNs to the device. I haven't implemented that yet. I don't know if I will ever implement that. But it's a feature that's coming. They've got all these keys for it. I'm using as the backend micro MDM. Credit to these guys, micro MDM. They've created the core MDM component. So essentially, what I've built here is essentially a web interface. We're storing it all in a Mongo database for all the details we need. All the details are in the Mongo. It allows me to do everything I need to do. But essentially they handle the actual... They've got all the docs on here. They handled the actual communication between the device and the MDM server. I just tell them the payload. They send the APNs and all that sort of stuff. I can even send it a raw payload. So I can create my own to support new features that it doesn't support. Because there are features it doesn't support already. And it's relatively up to date. When was the last time it was updated? Oh, I say that. 2 years ago or so. I think it might have been sunset about 2 years ago. This was updated 2 years ago. I should probably read about renewing the certificate. What's this saying? One, read about new... Warning, if you're... I was just having a look at that while we're here. But yeah, I think this has kind of been sunsetted as well. But it was the place to start, and it was really helpful for me. I did have to build my own version to edit some keys. There's not much that needed changing, but overall it was okay. The one thing you have to think about with MDM is you must configure APNs. It will not work without APNs. End of story. Oh, Apple requires that for APNs you be in the what's it called? Essentially the business enrollment, not just the developer enrollment. There is a way around that. That's what I'm using. I'm not going to go into too much about the way around that unless people are interested. If people are interested, put it down in the comments and I'll go into the way around that. But essentially this says that you have to be... It also can do DEP, so device can be part of the device enrollment program, but then you do have to be part of the Apple Business Manager and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, but essentially for APNs it says that you have to have the MDM SRC option enabled under the certificates profile, yeah, etc. That's really difficult to get because they only want enterprises using MDM. They don't want you using it regularly. But so because of that, it's very locked down. But all the protocols are here, and this is my web interface. Let's jump over to the code and I'll just show you a bit about it. This is the code. Look, I'm not gonna lie. It's probably not the best. This is how I've done it in PHP. I like to use PHP as the device endpoint. So I've got some endpoints actually that don't require authentication. Otherwise, it would require authentication. Like if it's an incoming event for the core system, it's going to publish a core event, or you're enrolling, you don't require authentication for enrollment. But here are the paths. There are a lot of paths. It's quite a complicated function because you have to be able to upload apps. There's this whole process for extracting data from the plist. It also all uses plist. It all uses Apple's proprietary XML example format plist. So in the web, this is just a React component web app. We're giving us all the information that's generating this. But I thought people might be interested. Let's see if there's anything. Is there anything else I want to talk about in device management? Not really. Like, don't get me wrong. This is great. If it didn't have for the issue with the apps, I'd still be using it. And I am still using it. And I'm only using it now because... I'm only not using it now because I've learned and spent the time to build a new one. And I want to use some of the new features. Excuse me, my apologies. I'm really tired. It's like 11 o'clock at night. And I'm just waffling to you guys about MDM. But as you can see, the reason I'm using MDM is we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 devices here. And another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 devices here. There might have been 18, 19 devices here. There's a lot. I have a lot of devices. I know it's overkill. but the easiest way to manage them is with MDM, like setting energy settings. So I'll just show you some of the profile settings in here. So this has got an energy management configuration. Where's that? It'll be back west. There you go. So you could set like the desktop power saving, the portal power saving, and all that sort of stuff. Wake the computer up at this time, sleep it at this time. You configure all that sort of stuff. And personally, I'm gonna have to build all that out in the profile section. In this, I've only got certificates, Wi-Fi. Like if you click on Wi-Fi, it gives you SSID, password, encryption type, some keys. Domains, you can put in domains like app management domains, all that sort of stuff. And login window settings. Because currently, that's all I'm interested in. I've got all the apps I need. I've got them all there and they all work. You can enroll, you can upload, click here. It'll let you upload an app. All that sort of stuff. That's that, basically. I thought you guys might be interested. I'll probably do an update on this at some point, but this is how I'm moving away from Apple device management and profile manager into a new MDM solution. Oh, here's the point. Why have I not gone with an out of the box like Jamf? MDM. Jamf is essentially a very good MDM. Like, don't get me wrong. It's great, but it's expensive. Like, it comes with all these cool features that they've got, right? And they've got this self-hosted service thingy, so you can do it all on device. Like, they've got all the stuff, and it's all built. Ooh. It's all built out, like, but I don't want to pay for it, and I don't need that features. I'm not deploying this at scale. I'm deploying this at home. Maybe if I was deploying this to 10,000 clients who all needed to be able to manage themselves and stuff like that, I'd go with Jamf. I know personally, Apple actually uses Jamf, or at least they used to. When they sunset Profile Manager, they went to Jamf. But now they have their own Apple Business Manager. But there are a lot of other ones like Hexnode and stuff like that. But I wanted something that I could self-host and build and modify and tweak. Like, if this don't do what I want it to do, I can make it do what it wanted to do. Like, I don't like the device on the left. I want it to be like a tiled plane. Like, so they go along like here and here and here and here. But it's got all these features. And maybe I'll make these the same. But for now, this is a basic structure. I also don't like the colour palette. But I'm building out something. I've got to build the API and the back end as well as the front end. Whew. Clearly the tiredness is getting to me. But here you go. It's all here. I thought you might be interested. That's it. Thank you very much.